Hello, everyone, and it is Monday. That's right, Monday, and welcome to Bob and Phineas. Now, I've got to say, Phineas is on assignment today. He had a special project to do for Mrs. Claus, so we got Mike Hutchins sitting in today in place of Phineas. Hi, Mike. How are you, brother?
Not too bad, not too bad, Bob. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's sunny here and 73-ish degrees. How's the weather where you're at?
It's sunny and 55 here in Hamilton, Ontario. It's good to be able to visit with you. Phineas gave me a quick call this afternoon saying, I'm running really late. Mrs. Claus has got me on special assignment because she and Santa are going somewhere for spring break. So here I am. So hopefully we're going to be able to manage. So there we go.
We are glad to have you along with us today. And hey, that's nice weather for the northern part of the country where you're at, North America.
It is. It is indeed. It's quite wonderful out, and the snow is slowly melting away. So it's
We got a very light dusting of snow this year. Not much, just a tad. So it's been kind of a, typical Texas, North Texas weather for us this year. Now, what we did get this last week was, and you may have seen it on a lot of the news. I know it went national. A heck of a windstorm come through again. And, we've had a couple of those the last 2 years. And they recorded winds between 80 and 90 mile an hour. Now that's hurricane force winds,
yes,
and
indeed.
did quite a
Wow.
bit of damage. We had some areas that got a ton of hail, so much that there was hail banks where it had banked up against buildings and different areas. And now they're predicting another one of those for this next Friday. So we're going to have to batten down the hatches and make sure everything's not able to blow away. Because
That's good.
again,
Batten down
80,
the hatches.
what's that?
Yeah, that's good. Batten down the hatches. Make sure you don't have any flying lawn furniture or garden implements or anything like that. So
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing how much you think things are secure until that 80 or 90 mile an hour wind hits, and it just takes off like a projectile. So definitely. So it looks like we got a handful of people joining us today. Uh,
yeah, looks like both Facebook and YouTube have got a few visitors already. So that's good.
yes, we do. We sure do. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and think about jumping on into something burger and let these few folks that are with us give us some input. You ready, Angela? Real quick before we get started on that, Randy had came up with that something burger graphic that you see and from last season, season four last, and so I had to take it, put it into a program, clean it up, put Phineas in, changed my photo out, put a different photo in, and changed it up a little bit. But the one thing from last year that I heard folks say, "Why is that music so loud?" And so I took and put it into another program and was able to change the volume on the music, bring it down where it's acceptable now, and it flows pretty good. So we're happy to say no more busting of the eardrums or the speakers.
Well done, well done. Yeah, it was definitely a lot louder than most of the other music, but
Yes, it
yeah,
was.
it's also got some attitude too, along with that burger as well.
Yeah, that's true too. But that's Randy.
Yeah, yeah. So
For sure. All right, Mike, let's go ahead and pick out this question. Phineas is the one that came up with this question.
yeah.
So let's see what Phineas had to ask. And I've got a couple of follow ups that go along with it. So, interesting question for the time of year that we're in. So, go right ahead.
So most people know that when Phineas is done at the North Pole, Santa loans him to the Easter Bunny and actually helps the Easter Bunny out by becoming a substitute Easter Bunny or a supportive Easter Bunny. So Phineas wanted to know that as we are entering the Easter season, how many of the Christmas performers do you work or perform as the Easter Bunny or another Easter character? or does Santa come and pay a visit for the Easter season? So that was Phineas's question. As many do know who follow Santa and Phineas on our Facebook page, that Phineas gets loaned out to the Easter Bunny, and around this time of year, he actually gets transformed into a bunny, much to his disgust, because he gets bored of lettuce and carrots, and those big white fluffy paws, they get kind of muddy at the North Pole this time of year. So what do you do for Easter? Do any of the performers here perform or make visits as an Easter performer, or does Santa pay an Easter visit?
You know what, Mike? We should have Phineas send a picture of the bunny. That is quite the makeover from Phineas to the Easter bunny.
It is. It is. I will make sure that Phineas sends one in for next week, and there might actually be a Phineas the Bunny appearance probably coming up in the near future as we get closer to Easter. He's got to calm down from the transformation. He gets a bit grumpy, so.
He has been known to be grumpy at times,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's all in his heart. He's good.
Yep.
I have bad days. We all have bad days.
Yep.
All right. Well, for me, I did do the bunny. It was season before last. Angela was the set manager for Cherry Hill set at our mall, where I set each year as Santa. And they needed 3 bunnies, so I was the 3rd bunny. Filled in just a few days. It wasn't much. It was pretty much an all afternoon shift, and it was fun. I really, really enjoyed taking on the different character. And for us with Cherry Hill programs, they don't like for the bunny to talk. So, I love to talk. Everybody knows that. But it was really hard not to say things. But I had quite a few, and I do mean quite a few, loyal customers that come to see Santa each year. And I would wait until the children had walked away, and I would call the mother or the family back over, the parents, grandparents, whoever it was, and lean over and whisper in their ear, "It's your Santa," and they say, "We knew it. Your actions, your hand gestures, the way you was moving, we just knew that was you inside that suit." So even when you try to change characters, sometimes your real self still bleeds through. But I
Yep.
really did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But all that said, I will never ever complain about being hot as a Santa in a full Santa garb again.
Those mascot costumes are definitely a world unto themselves, and
They are.
yeah, they're warm, they're very stuffy, and also you've got very limited eyesight too. So
Claustrophobic, and the eyesight, I think, was the worst thing about it. Now, it was hard, and again, at the mall where I was at, the dressing room is on the far side of the mall. This is a large mall. It's one of the larger malls in North Texas. And so you had to walk all the way across to the opposite side of the mall to get to the actual Easter set, Santa set, whatever you want to call it, depends on the season. At the feet, no shoes, just barefoot with those bunny feet on.
Mhm.
It's really easy. They're worse than the character toe Santa boots because at least those fit your feet and they
Yep.
don't flop. The bunny feet flop, so you had to really be mindful that you put heel to toe as you walked, and not stump that toe and roll it under.
Yep.
And that was something I had to work on each and every day. I left the dressing room, or I left the set to go back to the dressing room. And again, the eyesight, man, the eyesight was so bad. You've got that black material that's really hard to see through.
Hmm.
It's pretty tight, so people can't see into the suit. And the way the head sits, the eyes are a lot wider than your natural eye placement in your head. So what I found to do was to kind of just slightly turn the head off to one side and look through one eye hole, which made it a lot of, I just turn it a little bit and look through one eye hole, and it seemed to work a lot better for me. But
Because
hot,
otherwise
now
it's
they
like
have
having a hand
solutions.
in front of your face.
Yeah, they have solutions for the hot. They make those little fans that you can put around your neck that blows. And one of the other bunnies that had worked at the mall before said they also make them for your waist. You can get them like some type of belt or something that goes around your waist that blows air up. So that's the solution to the hot. I didn't do it. You know what? I didn't even think about using my thermopyro cooling vest. If I'd have thought, I could have put it on.
I was going to say, don't you have a thermopyro?
Yeah, stupid Santa, stupid bunny. All right, let's see. Go ahead and catch some of them comments. Looks like we've got some great comments coming in, Mike.
So Betsy Garner Madreski says she used to be an Easter bunny. She's a retired Easter bunny, but these days she does Mother Goose for the Easter season. And we all know Betsy as a Mrs. Claus and also as the Tooth Fairy, but she does a spectacular Mother Goose, and she actually has a goose friend that joins her as well. So,
and if I may, Mike, she has a brand new website that was just put together. She just launched it. If you
yes,
get a
indeed.
chance, go over and look at her website. She's got some great pictures of her as the Tooth Fairy. She also has a section in there for her Mrs. Claus and for Mother Goose. So go check that out.
And for those wondering, it is wanderingdramacompany.com. So I will type it in the comment field so people can get to it, or maybe Angela could do it. But yes, definitely, she's got a wonderful new website which shows all of the characters that she performs as. Sue Radloff said that her daughter turned her into a leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day, and it was pretty scary, she said. So we have that. AJ Bayless said that he did the Easter Bunny, but he has since retired as the Easter Bunny. Betsy just posted her website address in the comment field in Facebook, so thank you very much, Betsy. I do know that David Milmine, who is watching, he comes and joins Phineas the Bunny when for our Easter visit, just to give everybody a heads up what's happening at the North Pole during the spring, and also to make sure Phineas behaves himself before he heads down to help the Easter Bunny. So we do have a visit from Santa. So there we go.
Yeah, it looks like Santa Allen, Mitch Allen, says he still occasionally does the Easter Bunny if needed, but that it is very hot. I do agree with you, Mitch. It is hot.
Charlie Johnson says he does not do anything at Easter.
And Hall of Fame Santa Jeff McMullen, Santa Mac is with us. Good to see you, Jeff.
Yep.
He says, just like Sneak and Peek, Santa's bunnies do not overlook your opportunity to sell your services as Easter or Easter Day to hide Easter baskets for your in your client's yard. I believe is what this says.
Yep.
I've got my screen squeezed a little bit tight here. Let me widen it out of here so I can see what it's. Yeah, that's better right there. Okay, I'm sorry. Opportunity to sell your services on Easter Eve and Easter Day to hide eggs and baskets in clients' yards. Thank you, Jeff. That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. Santa Mel, Melissa said she used to be the Easter Bunny, but she ended up giving her suit to Santa Michael Howe because she just does not like to be alone in the quiet and dark of the suit. So
understandable. Again, that it is quite claustrophobic and hard to see, so you can't really get up and do too much wandering. For me, I found that the particular setup that they had at the mall, they had a wide bench that looked like it was hanging from the pergola above by 4 big sturdy ropes.
Okay.
So I would just reach over and feel for the rope, grab the rope and sit down or pick myself up and stand up and kind of be mindful again of where I was standing so I didn't trip or fall backwards or whatever. So it is a different beast altogether.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I often joke that I always wanted to give walking lessons for people starting to be the Easter Bunny or taking on mascots or Santas who decide they want to wear the character toe boots, because wearing those big shoes, it's definitely a different world. And you have to be very mindful as to how you walk, so you don't trip over your own toes, or so you don't walk like you're in scuba diving flippers, walk all flat-footed. So,
like I said, heel to toe, heel to toe. That's a good way to remember to do it.
Yep. Santa Doug says no bunny hopping there. He has a hard enough time getting his CPAP mask on. So
Very true. You know, talking about those character toe Santa boots too, Mike. Uh, a lot of folks don't think about having to drive with those, but if certain vehicles that you get into and you try to wear your boots and drive, you'll go to hit the brake and actually your foot overlaps and catches the gas at the same time. Now that can be pretty hairy.
or
Uh,
if you have a standard, if you accidentally hit the clutch instead. So
oh yeah, yeah. The first time I drove our minivan with my character toes on, I got to the end of the street, pulled over, put my flashers on, and took my boots off. I realized right then that wasn't for me. I was just going to go ahead and be safe and do it the way that needed to be done without all the drama.
yep, yes indeed.
Now then, I have a follow up to this since we don't have any more comments coming in here, Mike. My follow up is: have you ever been the Easter Bunny as an independent, working for yourself, or did you work for an agent or agency or photo company? Because again, doing it for yourself is one thing. The expense of having to either rent or go purchase one of those high end bunny suits is a whole nother factor. If you work for an agency, or a photo company, there are certain rules that you have to go by. As we said, not talking in many cases. For me, I had to develop what am I going to do besides just hug and wave. And so I would get the children's attention and tell them, to watch me, and I would do rock, paper, scissors. And as soon as I started doing it, they'd do it. And I had some children that were going to stand there all afternoon and play rock, paper, scissors with the bunny. Other times I would do watch, 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 and I'd put my left foot out, bring it back in, put it back out, shake it all about, do the hokey pokey, and turn myself around, and they would join in. So that was fun. And then when they got ready to leave, I would always wave to them and put my finger up, tell them wait just a minute, and I would turn around and shake the bunny tail because the bunny has a big fuzzy tail on it, the suit, and it wiggles when you shake. So you just kind of shake it. Everyone got a kick out of that. So just certain things that you can build into the character of the bunny that let yourself shine through.
Yes indeed, yes indeed. And if you're in one of those mascot costumes, not being able to talk is partially because you really can't hear what they're going to say because you've got the big helmet around you, and also it's going to come out very, very muffled. And so that's how come when I perform as Phineas the Bunny, I wear actually the prosthesis and full makeup and with the teeth and the nose and the whiskers and the ears, is because I like to talk too much. But learning mime and dance will help you a lot too. And we'll get into
love your get up, and that would be definitely a plus for those of us who do like to chit chat a lot. Looks like AJ says he was independent for him. Now I do know that I've seen pictures of AJ and the bunny, and very nice, AJ.
Yep. And Betsy was the Easter Bunny for Hire Santa. So she did work for an agency. And Santa Allen just asked if she'd like to do it again this year.
Johnny on the spot. Way to go, Mitch. Joseph Cunningham says, not my cup of tea. Can't keep from talking. I do like the idea of an interactive bunny. I've seen a few out there that do some fantastic makeup and look great. Pretty involved. And Phineas is one of those. Phineas has a really nice get up. Very unique and to his character.
Yep. It's definitely a chore because it is putting on basically movie level prosthetic makeup, but at the same time, it's worth it for me because, as I said, I like to interact more. And yeah, I can be very quiet, and I've had lots of mime training and such, but sometimes it's just more fun to be able to talk and to actually play with the audience and the kids. So
Looks like Betsy says to Mitch, no, she's retired, but if need a tooth fairy, she is your person. Mitch also says interactive is fun and different. I did that for a couple of years, and that was kind of another one of my follow-ups that I was going to throw in. If you did the bunny and you've done it for quite some time, Put in the comment box how long you did it. I know most folks that do it will do it 1, 2, 3 seasons, and they've had their fun. They, like I say, the suit being hot and all, they decide, okay, well, I've had enough of this and don't do it anymore. And again, working for an agency, or a photo company, uh, that's a long-term gig. You can get in with a photo company and do it year after year after year, just like you do your Santa portrayal. If you're happy with that company and decide that you want to stay with them, they will be glad to bring you back year after year, which Mitch will probably tell you in a heartbeat. And of course, with the comment of Betsy coming back again, it says here that he loves to rehire folks, or bring folks in to keep doing those gigs when they've done a good job.
Yep. Yep. It's good to build a good working relationship with your agencies, or also with the independent contractors. Phineas has a standing gig where he does a Easter egg hunt for a local church every year, and it's just been a really good partnership. And yes, I do help hide the eggs and make it challenging for the little ones, but at the same time, it's also kind of fun to be able to point out to particularly the little ones who are getting left behind, where the more hidden ones are. So
it's like a ton of fun for you, Mike. Again, being able to talk is definitely a plus when it comes to that hot suit. I love the approach that you've taken with it.
Yep.
All right. Kind of looks like the comments have run out. So that was a great segment. We love being able to.
I'm trying to get these pictures real quick of Mike's Easter Bunny pictures.
Okay. Angela's trying to grab a couple of your bunny pictures, Phineas's bunny pictures, and get them thrown up. So.
Let me see.
Scott Martin up at costumemagic.com says hello. Say y'all at the roundup for those of you who is going to the Lone Star Santa Texas Roundup. Excuse me, that's coming up here pretty quick. And of course, there he is.
There he is.
There's one.
I love them whiskers. That's just too much, man.
There's one more.
Okay, so I'll throw another one up real quick.
Yep. Santa.
There we go.
Is got Santa's sidekick with you there.
Yep. Santa always complains because he gets stuck with the whiskers, but I said, I'm having them on your face. So
yeah. I'll teach you to get in my space. Stay back a hair or two, a whisker or two.
Yeah. Worse than a mustache. So.
Betsy says Mike is the best Easter Bunny.
Oh, thank you very much, Betsy. It means
like
a lot.
Kane Smith has joined us. Good to have you in, Kane. Hey, Kane was on a roll. We got to looking. He was our last winner for last year's season, and our first winner for this year's season, and won one of the two trivias on the Tuesday show this last week. So he's 3 out of 4. Look out, AJ. You got a contender. Kane's coming after your title.
I was going to say AJ definitely has competition with Kane, so there we go. So
he does.
Yes,
he does. All right, are we ready to move along? Let's go ahead and jump in santascloset.org. All right, here we go. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob and Phineas Live, the show about nothing. Season 4 of Bob and Phineas is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central, presented by TNL Network Productions. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob and Phineas in the TNL studios in today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Okay, Angie's working on a picture of the leprechaun. When she gets it, she's going to let us know, and she'll throw that up. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and say thank you to Wade over there at santascloset.org and Scarlett for helping us today on our show, as they always do. They've been a presenter here or a contributor here on the Monday show for a couple of years, and we do appreciate everything they do. Now then, Mike, let's go ahead and jump into our trivia question today. Last week we had two. It was kind of confusing, a little hard for Angela, so we've just backed it down to one, and there is a clue that you can give away once you've read the question. Go ahead.
Okay. So for this one, we need the movie title and the full release date. What we're looking for is the movie from which this quote comes from. And the quote is, I myself believe that when it comes to matters of the heart, the only sin is turning your back on love because of what other people think. Once again, I believe that when it comes to matters of the heart, the only sin is turning your back on love because of what other people think. And the clue is, it is a made-for-TV film.
That's quite a powerful statement when you think about it in depth.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And once again, we need the name of the movie it came from and what the exact date of its release.
That's right. Monday Fun Day Trivia, Christmas quotes. We always love doing these. And as Mike said, it's made for TV. That is our clue, made for TV. Again, winner's name goes in the hat for the scholarship for the TNL sponsored NPC, North Pole Cornerstone sessions in 2026. And again, you get a care package from santascloset.org. Santascloset.org. That's correct.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much to Wade and Scarlett. Thank you.
Yes. You ready to play our other promo?
Sure.
Another one of our contributing partners, Talbot Insurance Services over in Georgia. Home, auto, Santa, business, you name it. He loves to bundle. If you have needs and looking for insurance, call Larry Talbot. His name is on that promo that you see with the Santa and the little village behind it there. So catch that number, give him a call, or just look up Talbot Insurance Services.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the Up and Chatterbox News. I'm going to go ahead and start this off, Mike. NPC North Pole Cornerstones Round 2 photo gallery is now posted on the website. Now, that is basically only the group pictures and the graduation pictures with diploma.
Yes.
For 2024 and 2025 are both on there. npcornerstones.com. We also have a new Facebook private group just for NPC alumni. If you attended either of our first two sessions, please watch for the invite from Deanna Golden and accept and go post photos, leave comments, and converse with other attendees about your experience. NPC has become a vibrant community that embodies the spirit of one great big supportive family, a real family connection. Facebook is www.facebook.com/groups/North Pole Alumni. So you can find it there. All right, Mike, go ahead and take over from there if you will, please.
Okay, so March 14th through 16th, 2025, the Master Claus Academy is coming back to Reynoldsburg, Ohio. So join them for an unforgettable experience with 2 full days of expert instruction from the legendary Kringle brothers, Michael Howe and Michael Burer, aka Herbie. And then coming up, May 1 to 3rd, 2025, Santa Ana Holiday University is heading to Schaumburg, Illinois, which is close to Chicago. And from May 14th to 16th, they'll be in Medina, Ohio, which is close to Cleveland. So join Deanna and the rest of the Santa Ana crew and join them for further learning for Mrs. Clauses, Santas, and other Christmas characters as well.
Sienna, and along with her is Judith Broderick.
Judith
Two
Broderick.
ladies from an excellent school.
Yep.
They are also part of our team on North Pole Cornerstone, so we love working with those ladies. School of Santa's 2025, Branson, Missouri. I know we beat this one to death, but we always like to remind everyone, July 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Last count was 109 folks had signed up and paid their deposit. So that's pretty much a solid number. Spangle has figured out a way to take a room stretcher and stretch the room in a way or two to add a few more. So he's looking at a total attendance in classroom around 120. So there are still seats left. Keynote instructor there is the one and the great Lee Andrews. If you don't know Lee, you are missing out. What a quality person, clown, entertainer. He and a lot of the clowns have, I've always said, had such a natural way of coming right into the Santa community, and to be able to, like Randy has for years, do dual purpose year round. From clowning and transitioning into Santa. What a gift, what a gift. And a lot of work went into becoming who they are and building the reputation that they've had. And Lee is another one of those.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And for those wondering about the future of Pro Nose and Pro's Face, you'll need to talk to Lee. He's got some very interesting news coming up. So that will be something to look out for, because I know some of the crew have used the makeup kits and the eyebrow whitening, and it's not going away. And that's all I can say. So
that's good. You know, Leon McBride, you know, we lost him recently. I say recently in the last year. And he was the one that had come up with that concept, those products, and had marketed them for years. And it's good to hear that they may live on. Very good. And they, you know, a lot of folks depended on those products. So,
yep. So
very good.
It's good to know that they're going to be happening moving forward, and they're going to be in very good hands. So that's good to know.
Yes, sir. I agree. All right, let's see. Moving along to preview our TNL upcoming guests and shows. We're not bombarding you week in and week out with a long list of folks that are lined up. We're just going to basically keep it to a week or two. Tomorrow night, March 11th, 2025, on TNL, we will have Russell Ellison. He is a North Texas professional Santa, barber, youth counselor, minister, and has a whole host of backgrounds and different things that he's done, as he puts it in the script that we'll have that we've got. Wears many hats, and we had him as one of our attendees in San Antonio at North Pole Cornerstones, and I think anyone and everyone who attended fell in love with Russell and Angie. They are quality people, and what a great personality that Russell has. I think you're going to love this one. It'll be a great show. Got some great material and questions for him, and he will spill the beans tomorrow night, March 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Sorry.
Yep.
Russell Ellison, professional Santa. Okay.
It was great. It was great getting to meet him and Angie at North Pole Cornerstones. He comes from a different perspective. He's got lots of great ideas, so it's going to be good to hear from him in depth on Tuesday Night Live tomorrow. So good to hear.
Yeah, he's a busy man, because he lives on a ranch that he grew up on. He's a cattleman. He also does hair. He's a barber.
He's a barber.
Has a little studio. Professional Santa. The guy's busy.
Yep.
Very busy. And we were lucky to be able to grab him for tomorrow night. Okay, are you ready to dig deeper with Phineas?
I believe so. I got my notes from Finn, and I've got a rough idea of what we're going to be talking about. So let's move forward.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do the roll in for that, and we'll be right back with Mike and digging deeper with Phineas.
So Phineas has been starting to think about a series where he and I will be talking about how to build your holiday character, because that is something that everybody's asking about. Everybody wants to learn about, and so the big thing that everybody talks about is developing your backstory. And so for the first little while, I'll be discussing developing your backstory. And everybody gets a bit defensive over that because they think the backstory has to be something big. It has to be this huge, long autobiography you create for your character, when really it is just something simple. I liken it to the fact that you need to be able to describe who you are to a 5-year-old. So it doesn't need to be a big, long, involved autobiography. It eventually will become one as you begin to explore and develop your character, but just start out with who you are. And so you start with the basics. What makes your character different from who you are as a human being? And some people, like Santa has a little more defined role. Mrs. Claus has a little more leeway and able to develop who she is. And then elves and other holiday characters definitely have a lot more freedom in developing who they are. So I'll start out with Phineas's backstory, what I started out with. And it was a matter of necessity because Mike is 5'8" and weighs 250 pounds. Elves are tiny little creatures, maybe 12 inches tall, maybe 4 feet tall. So how do I explain why I'm so tall and why I'm so big? And my backstory is I was born this way. And because of that, I was raised by Mr. and Mrs. Claus because the elves were worried about this big galoot injuring them. So Mr. and Mrs. Claus became my adoptive parents. And I will do whatever I can because I'm an elf and it is in my nature to help Mr. and Mrs. Claus. But at the same time, I've got my size. And so that became, what can someone my size do? Because building toys and electronics isn't going to be good. So I can work in the barns. I can work with the reindeer. And if you make it as simple as that, and that was how I started back in 2015 when I sat down with David Milmine and Leon McBride to create Phineas. It was just, how do I explain how big I am to a 5-year-old who's going to wonder, you're not an elf, you're too tall. And you go from there. So when you're thinking about developing your backstory as Santa or Mrs. Claus, it doesn't have to be anything huge or a detailed autobiography or anything. It can just be why you are Santa, why you are there to visit with the children before Christmas. And that is enough because you keep it as simple so you can remember your backstory. And so that is consistent because you're probably going to get the same children at times, maybe during the same season or maybe year after year after year. And if you keep it simple and basic and able to discuss that with the children, it will carry over when you talk to adults. It will carry over when you talk to teenagers. So let's start with developing a backstory. It doesn't have to be a big, long, involved 300-page long autobiography. It can be something as simple as explaining, this is how I am here, this is why I am here, and then you can move forward with that. So whenever people talk about building a backstory and you see them getting stressed out and they begin building it up, I usually will sit down and talk to them. And I will start with, why did you become a Christmas performer? Why did you decide to put on the red suit and grow the beard, or put on the beard? Why did you decide to put on the dress and the apron as Mrs. Claus? And why did you decide to put on the ears as an elf? So let's start with that. What your motivations were, why you decided to do that. And then how can we adapt that to become your story as to why you are Santa, why you are Mrs. Claus, why you are the mean green guy or a reindeer or a snowman or whatever. And so it doesn't need to be big and daunting and this big capital, this is my story and I'm bringing it from on high on these tablets. It is something simple as Phineas is 5'8" and 250 pounds. And he is too big to work in the toy factory. So what does he do at the North Pole? Because everybody needs to be useful at the North Pole. It's up north, it's cold, it's snowy all the time, it's dark half of the year. So why is he there? He's there to make sure that Santa and Mrs. Claus have the firewood they need. He's there to make sure that the reindeer are healthy and taken care of and that the sleigh is in good repair, because he cannot make toys. He cannot be a dentist like Hermie, the elf, or anything like that. He is not useful in the tiny little treehouse in which they make the cookies in. So start with something simple, and then you can build from there. And from that, that is the foundation of who Phineas is as an elf. He started out as being born above average size to regular elfin parents who realized that he was going to become very dangerous to them. So who are the big people that are able to make sure that he's going to get a proper raising and not harm them? Mr. and Mrs. Claus, because they're the average size human beings there. And then that builds his motivation. He views Santa and Mrs. Claus as his parents. At the same time, he does have his elf parents who he loves dearly and everything like that. But at the same time, this is where we go from there. So start simple, start your story enough so that a 4-year-old or 5-year-old child can understand the story and you're able to relate it off the top of the hat. And from there, you can go there. Developing your backstory and building your character does not have to be big and involved. It can be something that's just very easy and quick and simple. And it becomes a natural part of you when you put that suit on, when you put the dress on, when you put the ears on. So it's not as big and daunting a task as people think it is. You just have to keep it internalized, make sure that it's something that you keep within yourself. Might even have to write it down so you remember. And then as you continue to learn and grow as a Christmas performer, as you continue to explore who you are as that character, you can then add to it. And it will become eventually more complex and detailed and all of that. But keep it simple, keep it down to the core thing, who you are as a character, why they're at the North Pole, and why you're doing what you're doing right now. Thank you.
Wow, fantastic, Mike. I love the message of keeping it simple and really in the beginning to start off with, and that you don't have to be complex, but over time you will build more into your story. Now, this will become somewhat of a weekly series, of course, digging deeper with Phineas, but this is where Phineas will be digging deeper into development and holiday character. And what a great setup for that, Mike. Fantastic job, man.
Yep. What Phineas is going to do is he's going to be bringing on one of our puppet friends, and we're going to be developing that character as part of the process. So many of you who were here last year met the polar bear and the Yeti, and we will be building a character for the Yeti as we go, just to show the thought process and how you can create that character. So.
Great job again, Mike. Great job. Okay, a couple of things here real quick. We want to say hello. We have someone new that's jumped in with us this afternoon, Wayne Taylor. David Melmine says that he is a first year, and Wayne is
it's great to have you here. I'm glad you found us. Thanks to Mike and of course David. You guys must already know Wayne, and we're going to look forward to having you week in and week out. Just jump on over, catch us on Mondays at 3 p.m. Central Time. And a reminder that we do have a YouTube channel, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. YouTube, go over and subscribe to that channel. That way you can go back and watch 4 seasons of the Monday show with various names, but it still was the Monday show. And on Tuesday nights, we have a separate YouTube channel for the Tuesday Night Live show. And you go check that out. And or you can go to our Tuesday Night Live Facebook group. It's a public group, but all of the Monday and Tuesday shows and our live remote videos that we've done from places like Gatlinburg, Santa Family Reunion, and the ISC in Memphis, and some of the schools that we go to, Branson, School of Santas, and North Pole Cornerstones. Those are all housed over there also. So if you got late today, come in late today, as some of you have, you can always go back and watch the replay either on YouTube or Facebook. All right, that's one thing. Let's catch a couple of the comments that have rolled in here. Paul Anderson up there in Canada says he's sorry he's late, but he had to take his beautiful bride for birthday lunch. Happy birthday, Arlene.
Happy birthday, Arlene.
And Sue Radloff says, thank you, Mike. It's she's working on her backstory.
That's good. I hope my tips will be able to help her as she continues to build who she is as Mrs. Claus. So,
you want to read Santa Mac? Jeff's comment there.
Yeah, Jeff McMullen, Mike, 100%. It takes more than 15 to 20 seconds to answer a backstory question. If it's too long, and as I said, it doesn't need to be long because you just need to be able to answer that question right then and there in front of the child. You don't need to give them your entire life story as the character. So something very simple.
And it looks like David, my mind says, Wayne will be coming to Coffee with the Clauses in April in Hamilton. That'll be good for you guys up there in that region.
Yes, indeed.
Scott Parker likes to remind us free. Of course, we haven't been doing that this year since Randy left, but it still says free at the bottom of the screen. You can catch it there. And Mike had his ready today. Mine is stored away. I'll have to dig it out and start trying to use it again. Wait a minute. Whoa.
Man, is it gonna show up?
It probably will or it won't. Let's put it right here and it will. Very good.
Mine's free courtesy of our sponsor, Santa Claus at Talbot Insurance and Stuff for Santas. So got to keep the Spangle happy.
Oh, I mean to tell you, I love it. All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and reveal our trivia question, Mike.
Okay. So once again, the question was, which movie did the quote, I myself believe that when it comes to matters of the heart, the only sin is turning your back on love because of what other people think. And we wanted to know the movie and the date it was released. And that movie is Holiday Heart. And it was a made-for-TV movie that was released on December 10th, 2000.
And one of our TNL family members actually wins today. Rob Wood, congratulations, my friend, up there in Missouri for winning that. Your name will go on a hat for a NPC TNL contributed scholarship, and that drawing will be held at the end of the season this year on the TNL show, the last show of the season. And your name also gets sent over to Santa Wade at Santa's Claus Head for a care package. If you will, Rob, I know I've got it, but it sure would be a lot easier if you just throw in a private message to me, your address, please.
You need his shirt size.
Oh. And again, Angela just reminded me, and so did Carol, Mrs. Claus. We need your shirt size. That don't mean you're going to get a shirt, but Santa Wade said start getting shirt size because he may surprise a few folks and throw a shirt in. So send your shirt size if you will, please, sir. Thanks, Rob.
Congratulations, Rob.
Yeah, congratulations. Uh-oh.
What did you do?
I hit the wrong button and lost everything I had going here for a minute.
Well, you're still on. Everything looks great. So
Okay,
carry
we're good.
on.
We're good. All right, fantastic. Okay, so what a great show, man. I'll tell you what, love working with Mike and Phineas. Fantastic. We miss Randy. He's going to drop in from time to time for those of you who have been concerned and you didn't catch last week's show. We opened up the brand new season. Had Randy on for just a moment. Randy's busy. He has moved again. He's done a lot of renovations to the house that he's moved into. He's got a fantastic area that he's moved to where it's got lots of scenery. And I'll leave it up to him if he wants to tell you what part of the area that he's living in. Now, let's just keep it simple. But Randy's been having some issues with health, and he revealed that last week to many of you that did not know. And hopefully he's going to get fixed up, and he will be joining us from time to time for a short period. He will not be on the show as a regular, but he cannot stay away for too long. And we've told him time and time again, both Mike, myself, and Phineas even mentioned it to him. He's always welcome to drop in or even come back on the show as a full time when and if he thinks he is able and ready.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any lingering questions out there?
Ben Bellhorn noted that he's looking forward to seeing everybody at the Master Claus Academy next weekend. So Ben is one of the organizers of the Master Claus Academy. And I think that's about it. Ernie Russo has joined us from New Hampshire. So hello, Ernie. Good to see you.
Hi, Ernie. Be sure to go back and watch the beginning of the show either on YouTube or Facebook and catch up on the parts that you missed. Today was a fantastic show. I love how season 4 or actually season 5, but we got all messed up when we tried to rebrand after the first year and drop back and start the new show with Randy and I. Anyway, go back and catch up on anything and everything from the beginning. And we appreciate you dropping in, Ernie. Okay, we do have a whole list of shows that we are helping promote. So don't forget to watch all the TNL Network production 2025 list of shows. That list is over on the Tuesday Night Live Facebook group page at the listing of what shows rolled out last week. This week, we'll kind of go through it here real quick because the shows over on Santa's Magical Fellowship group will be changing. There are rotating shows over there. So, of course, we have Mondays with Bob and Phineas, the Tuesday Night Live show tomorrow night, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Then join Santa, enjoy the Kringle Time with Kringle Brothers on Wednesday. Almost skipped over them. That wouldn't be good. 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Then join Santa Mail on Thursday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. She's the only one that has a earlier start time, which confuses a lot of folks, including myself. But go over there and join in with the fellowship that they have immediately following. This week will be on Thursday, and that starts at 7 p.m. Central. The new debut of the new show, Christmas Crossing, with Santa Chris Terry. That's going to be a fantastic show. Don't forget to jump over and watch that. Also debuting the new season will be Shawn White, The Claus Connection, Empowered by the North Pole, and she will be starting April 10th. She's out touring, doing some fun stuff out in the fields. So she had to roll out at a little bit later date, but she's also 7 p.m. directly following Santa's Magic Fellowship group with Santa Mail, Melissa Lynn, whatever you want to call her. I call her Sis.
There's a couple of comments from Parker Odell.
Okay, let's see here. Parker Odell. One thing I have to ask is that how can we get young Santas in the mix? The Santa population is getting older and thinner every day. That is so true, Parker. Now, for me, quickly, while it's on my mind, I always carry my business cards with me. And anytime I see a guy, I don't care if it's close to the face or even someone that I recognize that has the heart and personality with a short conversation with them that I think would fit well into the community, I give them a card and I encourage them not just to look at the schools that I'm a part of, but to look at all schools, especially schools in their area and or any group of Santas that they could meet through Facebook that's in their area. As David mentioned earlier, Mike and David and Paul and a few of the guys get together up there in their region and go out for coffee. Down here, I am the founder and director for the Texas State Santas, and we get together several times a year. Last time we were out, we had 80 plus folks, and we go out for lunch on a Saturday afternoon, spend a couple hours together networking, sharing stories, and just getting to know each other better. So those are my recommendations. You got any others, Mike?
I was just going to say the younger Santas, the population is a lot of them aren't members of the groups, and a lot of them aren't out and about because they're usually busy the same time we're busy. And a lot of the real bearded fellas don't have the option and opportunity to be able to go out and take a look at who else is working without drawing attention to themselves. So the key is to network as much as you can when you see them in person. Younger members, in the suit, you invite them to watch shows like Tuesday Night Live to see that there are younger people coming up into the suit, like Russell Ellison and other folks. And so you show what a vibrant group it is, and you keep an eye out for people who you think would have the heart to put on the suit.
Yeah, a couple that come to mind. Of course, Parker is on the younger side. AJ, of course, is on the younger side. You got Hunter Woodson, who is a understudy of Leon McBride and Stephen Gillum.
Yep. Lee Andrews himself is in his 30s. So
yeah. So there are others out there, and it is definitely something that we need. You know, for me, when I started, I was 56, turning 57, and I thought to myself, that was the perfect age, that you needed to be a senior citizen. You needed to have white hair, a white beard, and I was, pretty much going 60% white at the time, and it just felt like the right time to do it. I was retired and needed a new hobby. I'd quit racing cars, and so, but I really wished I had started like a lot of the guys are now in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and had all those years, because it's just something that you really get caught up in and love to do.
And this will be another thing that I say is that particularly the fellows who are real bearded or real hair, a lot of them are younger. It's just that they've dyed their hair. So there are younger people that are Santas. It's just you wouldn't notice because of the obvious. So
yeah, and a lot of guys let it go back natural during the year, which I haven't crossed mine in some time. It's getting dark up here on top, as you can see, but I try to let it rest and not over process it. When I first started, I was processing every 6 weeks religiously because I felt like I needed to keep that image up. But my beard is pretty natural now. I have a couple of darker spots that kind of show up right in here, but just you can always go back natural, or cut it off if you can grow a beard fast enough. Some guys cut them off and start over in February. And for me, it took 2 years to build what I've got, so I can't do that. Takes a while. Let's see. Patrick Moss down in Houston has a great idea. Our Santa has a State of the Union on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central. Is he doing that every week or every other week? I know he was doing it every other week at the end of last year. Maybe if Mitch is still on, he can tell us. But either way, check out Hire Santa's State of the Union. Another great way to connect with others, and another good source of reliable information from Santa Allen. That's how I met Becky at Cherry Hill. She walked up and said, "You need to be a Santa." Yep. Becky Killstrap, she's another one that can spot that from a mile away. She is also one that lives here in North Texas with and we have been good friends for about 15 years. She was actually with NOR programs in Denver, and that was my first interview for a professional Santa job outside of doing a couple of years of independent work. I decided I wanted to go to work for a mall, and I contacted Becky and had lunch with her, and ends up I ended up signing with Cherry Hill, what at the time was Worldwide Photography. But anyway, Becky and I have still stayed good friends, and she comes to our meets quite often. That's another way that she meets new Santas, Santas that are just getting started that connect with our Texas State Santa group, and she comes and introduces herself and gets to know people.
Ernie Russo just confirmed that the Higher Santa State of the Unions is every other week. So this week will be one of the State of the Unions. So
fantastic.
Yep.
Parker says he started. Odell says he started 23, 24. Traditional beard, and AJ started younger than he. Yeah, AJ's a little bit younger. You just need in your heart the spirit of Christmas, Sal and Delicato says. And Sal is a traditional bearded Santa.
Yep.
Fantastic one at that. Has such a great look. And also him and his wife came to North Pole Cornerstones back in San Antonio. I just love saying that. Connie, AJ's mom, says happy Monday, everyone. Hello, Connie. How are you? Okay, I think we got caught up on that. So tune in, kick up your heels, join in the fun for 2025, all powered by TNL Network Productions. Don't forget the lineup. If you don't know what the lineup is, go over and check out what we got posted on the Tuesday Night Live page. Mike, fantastic working with you today, brother.
always
Enjoy the nice weather while we've got it. You know, better days are ahead, I'm sure. I know, again, we'll be cracking 80 here this week, one day or another, and so we're looking forward to it. Get out and enjoy the sunshine and get you some of that sun. It'll do you good.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
All right, fantastic. We are going to say thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope to see you back here next week. Don't forget about tomorrow night's Tuesday Night Live show and all the other shows that follow on Wednesday and Thursday. We appreciate you very much. Until next Monday, 3 p.m. Have a great week, and we'll see everyone soon.
We do have that one other video to play before we.
Oh, okay. Well, hang on. I was just informed by our producer we've got a video show.
It is the lineup.
Yeah, it's the lineup. It does show the lineup. So it's coming up into the end roll credits. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Have a good week, everybody.